Hey friends, welcome back to Vincent Gigi's Super Channel G. Look how incredible this dream box of Marvel Legends toys looks. Isn't it incredible? These are all Spider-Man action figures from all the different characters from the Spider-Verse. And so not necessarily the Into the Movie Spider-Verse, but definitely just the universe and multiverse that is Spider-Man. So you're definitely not going to want to miss this. So guys, if you've never seen one of our videos, subscribe now. Hit the notification bell next to it so you can get notified every time we have a new video come out. And talk to us in the comments below. For those of you that already subscribed to us, I want to welcome you back. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of our channel. And I look forward to seeing all of you on all of our videos going forward. So talk to us in the comments below. Give us a big thumbs up. And why don't we go ahead and get started, right? Now!
It's so nice to meet you, Gigi.
Super Channel G.
Vincent Gigi from Super Channel G. I will see you on the TV.
Super Channel G! Hey friends, it's so good to see you. I've been planning to make this video for a good while now. We've been talking about it. You've been asking for it. So let's get started. Let's come back to this is Stark Tech Spider-Man. Look how great he looks. And he looks absolutely amazing. Let me just say that. Look at this great suit. These hands are switchable. And since we have other Spider-Man from the Homecoming action figures, we can swap out those hands. Like for example, you know, we have another one that comes here. And I'm trying to... why can't I find it? Sorry guys. Well, anyway, take my word for it. We have multiple ones. We can do another fist and so on. And look at how the eyes are a little closed here. So just a great action figure overall. I love that we have the butterfly joints right here so that the arms can come all the way across. Look at that. You can talk into his wrist if he needs to. Talk into the suit. You can just get so many outstanding articulation points to make this Spider-Man look so great. Turns right here at the waist. Has amazing leg articulation. Look at that. And you can definitely have him like falling, jumping, you know, shooting his web out, moving his wrist back. Look at that. Falling. Whoa! So that would look really cool. Let me get this web out again. What a great way to put this right here, right? Put this around his hand. And look at that. Awesome, right? So we can definitely do that. We can have him holding this web from here with his fist and bend in his wrist. Have that going like that. Look at that. So look at that. Boom, swinging. That looks so great. I love the way it looks. So this action figure is definitely a must-have. He looks so outstanding. And I'm trying to figure out which of our Spider-Man Homecoming action figures this is, because it looks like the other one's on the bottom, on the very bottom right there. So depending on which one it is, we do have swappable heads, and I've showed you before. This is a Tom Holland one. I don't remember if it comes with this one or the other one. Nonetheless, here's a Tom Holland head, which, you know, it's debatable how much it looks like him. It resembles him. Does it look exactly like him? Not necessarily, but look how great that does look anyway. So great action figure. Love the way this Spider-Man looks. You definitely need him in your collection, and was one of the ones to complete the Vulture Build-A-Figure, which was absolutely outstanding. I'm sure you agree. All right, so why don't we jump into another Build-A-Figure, right? Let's jump into another one. Let's do this lizard one, which I'm gonna be honest, I was like really needing this lizard in my life. He was amazing. Look at this gorgeous lab coat. Look how it's like soaked up some Coca-Cola, gotten dirty from, you know, him just lurking around. Look at this great articulation, great sleeves. There's just a lot of love went into this action figure. I love the style of lizard they went with, this like dinosaur raptor looking lizard. Just looks amazing. Look at this great tongue. You can't pose it, but it looks amazing. Love that the mouth opens and closes. Look at that, and it opens a lot. He looks absolutely like a raptor, and I love the way that looks. So his torn shirt, the lab coat does not come off. I'm sure you could take it off if you took the arms off, but unnecessary. He does move at the waist. He does ab crunch. Now his legs are big and bulky, and they do articulate, especially right here at the ankle, because he's got this beast type of movement, but and his legs do articulate. But because of the fat calves, which is good, obviously we can only move the legs so far in and out, and because of the way that this comes up and down, this probably shouldn't move up that much. It should probably only come to here, and there should probably be a piece right here restricting it, but nonetheless still awesome. The tail has great articulation. It bends here and has great mobility, and then has another joint here. So unfortunately it is not curved, because that is one of the most bent pointy tails I've ever seen, but still nonetheless is so great. And man, he just looks so strong, so menacing, so crazy. Look at that. You need this lizard in your life. Just this lizard action figure is just so awesome. So love the way he looks. Look at this great detail. A lot of love went into this lizard Build-A-Figure, and I love saying that because that's what makes the Marvel Legends whole set collecting so worth it, is these amazing Build-A-Figure sets, characters such as this one. One of my favorites all time, hands down. Okay, so let's set him aside. Let's do another Build-A-Figure right here. So we have Hobgoblin, which looks really cool. He's not tremendously big, obviously. He's the size of a traditional Marvel Legend. Oh no, I had his sword pressed up against, that's why it's a little leaning, so we need to make sure we straighten that out. But look at this amazing flame sword. Doesn't this flame sword look great? Look, it looks absolutely outstanding. It's beautiful. So this Hobgoblin, this looks a little weird the way it's bunching right here on his outfit, but obviously it's supposed to look puffy. Look at his face. Let me zoom right on into this face. Look at that. Doesn't that look scary? Looks awesome. Look at those ears. And then, so this is supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, one of these swords. See? Look at that. It's supposed to be the sword here, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It does come off, so maybe there is more to it that I'm missing. But nonetheless, there it is there. The wings, they come off right here because you had to put that on. That was a part in itself, and you can actually take it off if you either put the arms back or you pop the arms off. The head does turn, oops, not what I was looking to do. The head does come off, and it comes off rather easily, as you could tell. We got some good articulation. This is a softer plastic than it might look, but this is not, so it's harder to pose. The knee does have double joints and does articulate pretty well, but it's a little looser than I would have liked. That may not be on every figure, obviously. See, look. Great looking metallic blue finish here. Great looking same metallic blue finish on the boots. And this figure just looks so great. His arm moves in the middle of the bicep instead of the top over the bicep. So I know you hear me say over and over that, you know, moves right here above the bicep, but these are other options that are there. This arm is just ridiculously loose. I have to tighten that up. But nonetheless, look at the hands. Just such a great Build-A-Figure. He's not my favorite character, but he looks great, and definitely a great one to add to a collection. So let me say that, and so worth it, so worth it. So look at this amazing sword, loving that, and yeah, what else could I say about this amazing Hobgoblin? Looks just so great. And so yeah, honestly, I don't remember if he comes with any of those jack-o'-lanterns that explode. Don't remember, sorry. He does have these wonderful little pouches right here. But yeah, so we'll set him aside. We just did another Build-A-Figure set right there. So let's see. Okay, let's look at this Spider-Man 2099. Isn't this awesome? And so if you saw Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse, after the credits, it starts teasing him, right? Having him come out in a future movie, which would be really awesome, because in this version of Spider-Man, you know, it's been years since the original Spider-Man, and he's like working with the genetic code from Peter Parker, the original one. And then after an accident, so on and so forth, fast forward a little bit, he ends up getting the powers of that. So it's really cool. A great outfit, right? Look at the detail. Look at that. It's almost like a skull. Doesn't that look sick? Looks outstanding. I love how it's like metallic-ish. So we have a little bit of red that comes along here. Definitely another great figure to get our Vulture, right? And looks just so outstanding. Has great articulation. Love that it has this butterfly joint. That's always going to be amazing to me. Look at that. And just so crazy the way he looks. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the first appearance was in comics in 1992. It's already been a while, but obviously nowhere near it was like a kind of a 1990s reimagining, so it looks kind of 90s-ish. But great looking action figure. I don't think he came with any accessories, which is unfortunate because we definitely we need accessories with these Marvel Legends, don't we? Whether it's swappable hands, swappable head, you know, some sort of anything, we would really love. Wish that he had more, but nonetheless, great one to have in our set, in our collection, and definitely need his Build-A-Figure piece for Vulture. So, moving on. What do we want to do next? Let's go ahead and do this Dr. Octopus now that we can actually reach all of his octopus arms here. Where's the other one? Do I have? No, I don't. It's 1, 2, 3. Where's the other piece? It's in here somewhere. There it is. Okay, cool. So this Doc Ock. This one is, oh, I forgot about his glasses are slightly off. And they're glued on, so it's not like something we can do. So there, straight-ish for now, and it's gonna start drifting back up. So this Dr. Octopus was a part of the Lizard Build-A-Figure set, but he was the first one that did not have a Build-A-Figure piece. He was the, you know, the prelude to it. Looks absolutely just like the comics. Look at these really great octopus arms, and look how great that looks. Isn't that amazing? So the cool part is these actually move a little bit, right? That is kind of cool. The bad part is they're not posable. They should be posable, because that would just make for a ridiculous figure. That would look just outstanding. So this figure, because I'll be honest, I never really cared for the way that Dr. Octopus looks in the comics. He always looked weird with his chili bowl haircut. You know, I was not a fan of chili bowl haircut. I didn't like that he was always gnashing his teeth. But nonetheless, this is pretty comic book accurate. So he's got these crazy glasses going. I prefer the Alfred Molina version. I don't like that he has a little bib right here. Now, this is not Marvel Legends' fault. This is actually a comic book accurate action figure. And then of course these lab gloves and these boots or whatever. But it's just the way the character was designed. But that being said, he's really cool for them making him look like the comic book. So let me put this back in here. Here we go. He's got some great, you know, movement, mobility, and so those go in back there, you see? And he moves right here below the rib cage, which has actually got some pretty good articulation for that being the case. So that looks really awesome. Got some great mobility. He does not turn at the waist. He just, everything turns from there. He's got some pretty great movement on the arms, believe it or not, and moves on the high part above the bicep. Great mobility in the legs, boots, feet. Yeah, definitely a great action figure. Like I said, the fact that I don't like the way he's designed has nothing to do with Hasbro. It has everything to do with the comic book, that he actually looks like this in the comic book. So they did a great job making him look comic book accurate. So the only real thing, since they're trying to make him look like a comic book, is that I would do different is make these posable, because look how great they look to begin with. So if we could just move these like a wire or whatever, that would be unbelievably outstanding. So really cool looking Doc Ock, right? Oops, let's move on. Let's see. We have Spider-Woman, right? Look at this really great looking Spider-Woman. She's got absolutely outstanding detail. Look at this great face mold. Just looks outstanding. They did a great job with her face. Did a great job with her paint. She's got a traditional Marvel Legends female body sculpt, which means that she's got a single joint right here for her elbows. And she turns right under the rib cage or right around the rib cage, and she actually articulates a lot there. So a great job with that. Her joints are actually nice and tight, and yeah, she's got great articulation and movement. The joints are really tight and good. Moves in the high part of the thigh, and yeah, so we got great foot and ankle mobility. And look at these hands. So the thing is, the head does not really turn too much at all. If you'll notice, the thing is, this hair is actually a lot harder than you would think, considering they've made some big advancements in softening the hair in Marvel Legends figures so that you can actually move it. And then I'm trying to, it doesn't really move at all. So anyway, you got just enough head movement to turn from here to here. Otherwise, just kind of live with that. Her accessory is to put these. You know what? This isn't the right one. Sorry. You put the little webs that go under her arms. They go right here. I was trying to find where I have them. Here should be one. Sorry guys, I keep misplacing it. Oh, here's one. So, ooh, this isn't it. I thought this was it. So this looks similar to what they are. This is not it. I have to find it. But it goes right here. Obviously. It's a bigger one. And that's where it would go. And so it looks like a little web that goes right here. I'll be honest, I don't think the execution for these little webs that go here is very good, because they just pop right out. They fall right off. And they could look better. But the intent is still good. And I'm digging this figure. Look at this. Take a quick picture. So it looks awesome. Awesome looking Spider-Woman. So it looks great. Look at that. Cool. Set her aside. And let's see what we got next. We have, look at this Spider-Man Noir. So he doesn't look exactly the same as the one from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It actually looks different. But you recognize this gun? I do. It's very, very, very much the gun from our Chameleon action figure. See that? So we recycled this gun basically. It's slightly different, but it's basically just because it's probably like a slightly different gray. But nonetheless, we have two of them. And they fit in this holster, which is really cool because this soft plastic almost feels like leather. Almost. But this Spider-Man Noir looks so great. Look at this mask. Look at that chin strap. Look how great it looks. Look at this great trench coat. Just amazing. Look at these boots. Absolutely love this guy. He looks so amazing. Now, I was a big fan of the one of the Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse. That one looks so good. I even love the hat, everything. So it'd be cool if they made one of those, or all the figures in Marvel Legends for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I'm surprised they didn't. I really hope they do. Including, I would like the alternate version of Spider-Man with sweatpants. That would still look cool. But nonetheless, you can take this jacket off. It's kind of neat, kind of different. You can take it off right here. And, on other things, when you take the jacket off, it usually doesn't match. But this one still matches because, look, the arms still match this right here. So he looks really cool. He'll look a little bit skinny, but it still works well. So this is one of the few Marvel Legends action figures that you can take the jacket or the coat off and it still look good. So this is soft plastic, but it's still just hard enough to not really be able to do too much with. So obviously it restricts some movement, but luckily it kind of fans out like that, so you can have him in multiple poses, and it's not so heavy and so awkward that you can't stand him in different ways. So I love that the legs are nice and chunky. Look at that. And it looks like, you know, really thick cargo type pants almost. Great boots, great foot articulation, just a greatly executed action figure. Love, love, love this Spider-Man Noir. Looks so amazing. I wish they could have gotten, you know, they would have designed these guns a little bit better. But, you know, whatever, still cool. Alright, so yeah, let's move on. So, let's do this Anti-Venom. This Anti-Venom is just sick. One of my favorites. Look how great he looks. So, let's zoom in right here in the face, because this face is just ridiculous. So look at that. He's basically, much like you would expect Anti-Venom to look, he's the opposite colors with the white and the black, right? So the spider symbol is not white, it's black, and his black is white. So I love the way that he still has eyes here. So that looks awesome. He's got these orangey, yellowy eyes. I love the way, you know, this comes right here to make him look spiky. Great Spider-Man symbol right here. If you put this on right here, it definitely makes him look meaner and crazier, especially since he's got these spiky parts on his arms and on his head. Look at that. Just a gorgeous looking action figure. We have these symbiote hands that are kind of like what we talked about, but they are bigger and bulkier than just those simple traditional ones. These are definitely bigger. Now it's not quite the Carnage hand, see? It's its own, you know, really big symbiote hand. So great looking action figure. So let me just tell you, you definitely need this one. He's basically the same body mold as Venom. I'm like, where's Venom now? Oh, I guess already, there he is. So it's basically the same body mold with a different paint job. So if you notice, same muscles and everything on the leg. So it's a different paint job. But I definitely dig this hands for this body mold, and this face is just sick. Look at that. So yeah, just outstanding. So I think if I ever made a which I will, a custom version of Venom myself, I think I would use this body mold. I would use some of these tendrils that are coming off from here, take them from here, put them on there, and, you know, overall just make this really awesome Venom. So nonetheless, that's how awesome this Anti-Venom is. He moves right here on the high part of the shin. Great leg, foot, ankle articulation. You know, great leg articulation here. And he's basically our, you know, obviously he doesn't have that Spider-Man dynamic pose, but he's definitely just amazing and outstanding. So I really, really, really love this Anti-Venom. He looks so great. So yeah, let's move on. So here is House of M Spider-Man. So this Spider-Man looks amazing. He is from the, what set is he from? He's from this one, the Spider-Mech. You know, we kind of got away from it, but he's from the Spider-Mech. So I was like, which one is he from? Spider-Mech. So I love his outfit. I love the way he looks. He's got that streamlined blue everywhere. He's different than our traditional Spider-Man. Now he's very similar, and on first glance you're like, wow, if I hold him like this, he's like not too far off. But if you notice, where's his Spider-Man symbol? Okay, so that's one thing. Look at his arms. There's a lot more blue. Look at his legs. There is, okay, well, I'll give you that. There's only a little bit less red right here. Definitely, but there's definitely a lot more blue on this figure. And just a great figure to have. So, technically, you could still switch out those blue hands for red hands, and it would still look great. You wouldn't even be able to really tell the difference. I'll show you. Because it's the same hand, look, see? Just a different paint job. If I did this, oops, I almost dropped that, and I drop stuff all the time. It would still go with the color scheme and still match. Oop, I wonder if it's a different size because it's not going in. I don't want it to get stuck. but you'll see nonetheless. Look at that. See, it would still match. I'm gonna put the other hand back on because I don't. Oh, that's why. If you'll see, look at this. Yep, would have gotten stuck or shaved down. It wouldn't have stayed in there. So definitely looks super cool. We have you know, what we've come to love about our Spider-Man action figures. This butterfly joint right here. So that's outstanding. That way we can get really cool action poses. His head goes back just far enough, right? Let's have him shooting his web out. Let's have him jumping out like this. Oh no! I almost twisted his leg really weird. Let's have him. There we go. Bringing his arm up like this. We're trying to rotate it out. It's the shoulder that's stuck. There we go. And we can literally just put that web back on. Where is it? Down here. And we can have him swinging. Look at this. Just like we did. Look at how great that looks. Doesn't that? Look at that. Looks amazing. So, yeah. I absolutely love it. Okay. So, I need to rotate his shoulder back down. It's a little awkward when this part keeps moving. So just throwing that out there. So this one was a whole lot easier because this one was just tighter. So great looking action figure. Absolutely love him. He's amazing. And we'll set him aside. Okay. So that was House of M. Let's see what we got. Man, look at this. We can do him in just a bit. What about this Stealth Venom? This one from Toy Biz. Looks outstanding. Look what happens when you push this. The mouth opens more. Just looks so great. This Toy Biz era Venom, actually, in my opinion, might be better sculpt than this Venom. Look at this. Let's be honest. If this Venom were painted, wouldn't he be tremendously better than this this just really thick Venom? Yes, because he's like a beast. Look at this. So this is not directly a Marvel Legends, but at the same time Toy Biz was making Marvel Legends, they made the Spider-Man series that was essentially just Marvel Legends, just not packaged that way. Look at this great leg sculpt. You know what, I'm probably, if I can find another one of these, which would probably be expensive unless it's loose, I would love to just paint this. Look how amazing this looks. If you look to the side, look how his mouth comes all the way here, and look at his eyes. If we can just paint this, which I don't want to paint this, I want to keep this one the way it is. If I can get another one, that's the paint modification would look amazing. I hadn't even noticed the joint right there on the ankle was white, and so are look these. So, but they just look so amazing. This Venom is gorgeous looking. Look at this Spider-Man paint job right here. Look at that. Look at this spider symbol right here. Just looks so great. And the teeth, everything. I know it's harder to see because it's clear, but just an amazing action figure. So his arms turn right here above the bicep. It's just massive thick. And he only has a single joint right here on the elbow because it's just such a big bulky arm, but nice and tight there. And then it moves right here at the wrist. He's got huge forearms. Look at those Popeye forearms. And the fingers, they do move individually. Look at that. Let me zoom in. Each finger moves on its own. Wow, the thumb is stationary, but each finger moves on its own. This is just an action figure made with a lot of love. Look at this dual knee joints. I absolutely love this Stealth Marvel action figure, and he turns right here at the waist. I'm even missing that, and he's got just such great leg articulation. So great Marvel Legend action figure. This is what Venom should look like. This is what Venom should look like compared to, you know, scrawny Spider-Man, and compared to Cletus Cassidy being this thinner Carnage. I'm sure you'll agree. So amazing. So that being said, let's compare him to this Venom. You know, we saw Venom on, you know, on the first part of this video. And here's the other one. And it's essentially the same figure. Essentially, but not quite. So it's the same mold. We have different hands. I'm really digging these hands, obviously. Look at this tongue. I love the head sculpt on this one. So this one came with two head sculpts. It came with this one and this one. So this one's, you know, I'm not wild about it. It's a different option, obviously. But this one with this drooling green and this ridiculously swirling tongue and these teeth, like, this is what I would really love for a Venom to look like. Just looks so outstanding. Now it'd be nice to have some sort of, you know, scarier looking symbiote hands, or perhaps not like these slipper looking feet, house shoes looking feet. But nonetheless, I love this Venom. He looks absolutely great. And, you know, I got a little ahead of myself when I said that he didn't have two fists. This one does, which this one already has two fists, obviously. So, unfortunately, we do not have, which would be one set over here, two sets, three sets. It's not three sets of hands, it's two different sets and of fists and a third one. I'm sorry, and basically a second. And otherwise, this is a great Marvel Legend action figure. Crunches really well to abs. Look at that. And look how great that looks. Just amazing. Turns at the waist, turns the high part of the thighs and the legs. And you can have just such great fun with the action poses with this Venom. Look at that. We are Venom. Love the way this looks. Look at that. So, took a picture real quick. It looks absolutely outstanding. So that's these two. They are Venom. Alright, so speaking of Venom, look at this Venom symbiote. They're bonding with Deadpool, right? Oh, I didn't mean to pop the head right off. My bad, guys. Let's see if we can put this head right back on. There we are. And so, this is, you know, this altered timeline of, or, you know, kind of jammed in there about the Secret Wars and having, when Spider-Man took off the Venom symbiote, and before it went on to Venom, that it had bonded to Deadpool. And so he's got these symbiote hands that we just talked about, the ones like with Scream, you know, the traditional ones. Look, see? Same hands. And yeah, this is Deadpool, because if you notice, look, there's Deadpool symbol right there. And it's black and white, and he's got these tendrils coming out from behind him. Now, unfortunately, it's just one big piece, and it's not posable, none of that. But it's still cool, look at that. And we have done a full review of this action figure, if you go back a few weeks. It was really cool. And it was a lot of fun. And he's got swords, actually, now that I mentioned that. In here somewhere. Here we are. And they're these really cool, because this is the back in black Deadpool. You'll notice he's got a little bit of pink right here in his mouth. And these really cool pink swords. So you can actually have him sort of hold it, right? You can have one of these Venom arm tendril deals hold it. Look at that. So that's really awesome. And you can do that with, you know, more than one here. And what's funny is, when I did this review, I actually didn't realize I could just put that in there and twist it. So let's see, if I turn these upside down, I can actually put these here. And how funny of me to not have caught that that can happen. Tch. So in any event, look at that. You can put them here, you can put them there. So really cool. Really like this back in black action figure. He's awesome. So I'm sure you like him too. So, and if you want to watch the whole review, go back to our channel and go back to videos and just scroll down a couple weeks. Depending on when you're watching it, obviously, so it might be a little further back. Or just put Super Channel G Back in Black Deadpool on the search bar. Okay, so I don't want to just Monster Venom just yet. I'm sure you're dying to see him, but since this is one of everyone's favorites, we'll hold off. So was that Spider Hulk right there. So let's do Marvel's Lasher. What do you say? Ooh, he's missing 2 of his things. So Marvel's Lasher was in this Lizard Build-A-Figure set. And depending on, you know, if we split this video up into 2, since it's going to be so long, this Lasher has, I was trying to look for, oh well, anyway, it was part of the Lizard Build-A-Figure set. Lizard is one of my favorites. Love that. And guys, I'm gonna have to sneeze in a second, so forgive me. But there's a, yeah, that was a pretty powerful sneeze. I was able to pause the video just in time. So there's a shape right here, obviously, that has to go in here, and you can't pick which one these go into, unfortunately. It's a specific shape, and they only fit in there like that, which is a little unfortunate. So this is one's kind of weird because it only just goes almost straight down. So I don't like that this one comes across right here. I wish you could pose these, and that's not cool, you know. We don't want this just coming all weird. I'd like it to be like that instead of like this. So, you know, maybe I can mold it and so on, but that's how I want it to look. And they just popped right out. They don't stay in there very well, so my advice would be to glue them if you want them there. I do like this two-tone green. See, they just pop right out. I do like this green here and green there. Look at this really cool like slime green on top of this, you know, like deeper like metallic green. That looks really cool. I wish he had other accessories. He doesn't. He does have a butterfly joint, so he's got all the great Spider-Man components. He's got these other beast-looking feet, so that's really cool. But nonetheless, he could have been executed a little bit better. I like his head sculpt. I love his paint job on his face. I do love these. No, I love the way these almost were, actually, because if we could pose them, if they didn't fall out as easily, you know, those are things that I would absolutely love. But they just fall right out. So nonetheless, overall great action figure. You're gonna really like him. You need him for the Lizard, but could have been better still. Look at that. Ab crunch, cool. Turns at the waist, cool. Great articulation, cool. But look how this just is kind of limp over him. So, and then you try to pose it, and then it just falls right out. So, if this could be like that, that would look great. But it's not. So we'll set him aside. Still a cool figure, and very necessary. So, we're moving right along. Let's see. Let's go to Scarlet Spider. So Scarlet Spider, we talked about Ben Reilly on the first half of this video. And Ben Reilly, this was when he was still Scarlet Spider. Looks really cool. I like this really cool hoodie right here. That looks awesome. Cool right here, waist. It's interesting how it has grooves for it to go in there, but then it's not attached, so it kind of moves awkwardly right here because it's not attached. But still, look at the great detail. He's got these little ankle pockets right here because fanny pack would be too conspicuous. I like this head sculpt. Interesting how it's a little off where the eyes line up, but still looks really cool. We got this fist. We got web shooter here. Just looks so great. I absolutely love the way this figure looks. Now, the flat red, it would be really cool if Hasbro can start doing like Toy Biz did, where they had, you know, shading and not just the flat plastic mold. That would look really cool. I know it costs more, but it would be so worth it to reward us with that, wouldn't it? So really cool action figure. Looks so awesome. So yeah. Alright, so let's move on next. Next we're gonna do, what we'll do. Speaking of that, we have another clone, because Ben Reilly was a clone. Here's Kaine. Another version of Scarlet Spider. Speaking of Scarlet Spider, right? Here's Kaine. And his eyes are slightly off too. Look at that. This one's slightly lower. Anyway, so he comes with more than one head. He has this other spooky, almost zombie looking Peter Parker looking head, because they're all clones of the same one. and just different versions. I like this black suit. I love how it looks dark. If you'll notice, it's almost exactly the same paint. Now, this is obviously a buffer looking dude. See how the legs are more muscular? See how the body's more muscular? Because it's not the exact same character. So this being Kaine, aka Scarlet Spider, yeah, he's a little different. This one has and these spikes are really soft. So I wish they weren't, so they could stay straight, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. Looks really cool. He can sting me with that. He does have a butterfly joint. So this is a really good looking action figure. I really like him. This is one that you needed for the robot Spider-Mech, and he's worth it. I really like him. So he looks cool. He's evil, but yeah, really neat. Looks great. What do you think? Look at that spider symbol. Look at that muscular upper back. I wish he had more accessories than just a swappable head. But look, definitely has outstanding articulation. It's moves well. Great ab crunching that actually clicks and moves at the waist. So some really great pose that you can get. Look at that. Awesome. Cool. Moving on. Of course, look at this Spider Punk. I kind of regret that this guitar came bent because it was, you know, leaned up against, but nonetheless, still cool that he has this guitar here. He's got a pick in this hand, so that's neat. And you know, we can swap out his hands. Obviously this is a fretting hand. He has a power chord going here, so it's like that's really cool. I love this jean jacket, which can be taken off. I love these high tops. You know, this is just such a great looking figure. Look at that. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is what I was told this means. I'm actually not sure, but that would make a lot of sense if it was friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But it might not. But nonetheless, I love the way this looks. The Spider-Punk is great. Look at these buttons on his rock jacket. Just super cool looking. And I want to like... It goes... Oops. I'm trying to do it. He's playing Iron Man. Look at that. So why did I play that? Because here he is. Iron Man from, let's make sure, from Spider-Man Homecoming, right? So obviously Iron Man did come out. Iron Man did wear his suit once in the movie, but he also sent this Iron Man Sentry, which means it was Sentry mode with no one actually in it. Ooh, this part got leaned up against, so I'm trying to straighten out the helmet again. So you can swap out the head so that it opens to reveal he's not in there. Like in Spider-Man Homecoming, he's like, well, yeah, no, I'm not there. And he was, I don't know where he was, but he's like, kid, luckily this place had Wi-Fi, you'd be toast. So great head sculpt, gorgeous looking Iron Man. This was in a 2-pack with Spider-Man, and I'm not sure if it was this one or the other one, because obviously I can't tell the difference between the two at this moment. But it definitely came with this 2-pack, and it's this one. This is the one that actually came with the Tom Holland swappable head, and I love this Iron Man Sentry. So cool. Moves right here at what would essentially be the rib cage. Head moves. Look at that. Looks nice and mean. Look at that. Boom. Taking a picture. Looks great. Look at the arc reactor. Look at these. I love this metallic red that's going on. Just looks so outstanding. I love this head sculpt. I regret that obviously something was pushed through really soft plastic. So it's really soft plastic. Just kind of pointing that out right there. We can swap out the head, and yeah, looks really cool. Now these parts on the shoulder restrict it from going too far back. That's the only unfortunate part. but does move right here above the bicep, and here it does restrict the hand from going back more, which is unfortunate because we want it shooting off there. But nonetheless, this Iron Sentry looks sick. So awesome. Set that aside. We only have a few characters left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, almost done. So let's do the Spider-Woman. We're getting any further. She looks all right, you know. Another lizard Build-A-Figure action figure. I'm sorry. Cool suit. Almost your typical Marvel Legends female body figure. It's a little different than, like, let's say, who can we get? Where was the other Spider-Woman? Sorry, I'm like, what side did I put her on? Left or right? Okay, left. There she is. So, very similar, not the same. Obviously, not the exact same body type and size. This is a different Spider-Woman. This is a more futuristic one. And so, yeah, similar, not the same. This one is more like the Scream body type, see? And this is our other action figure, female body sculpt. So the hair is softer than this one, so you can move this head a little bit more. I believe the glasses do come off, and so that's kind of cool. And the arms move, you know, fist moves. You know, this isn't necessarily my favorite character. It's cool to have, not my favorite character. Double joints at the knees. Some good posability, good movement here at the ankles, the knees. So yeah, cool. Not amazing. I like the spider symbol. It's really, you know, unique and modern looking. So that's cool. I love how her head does go down and back, and cool, like turtleneck looking deal there. Otherwise, cool character. Not my favorite, but cool. We're moving on. Let's see. We have, you know, I just said this Spider-Man right here, but I didn't really take like a good look at it. So obviously it's a lot similar to the one we already looked at either earlier in the previous video. And I'm gonna grab him right here. But the cool thing is you can swap these heads out because it's a different expression on the face. Look at that. So it's like, and here's like, whoa. So otherwise it's almost the same action figure, slightly different blues. The hands are interchangeable. They're very similar. And so almost the same figure, almost. Not. The blue's definitely brighter on this one. But you can interchange the pieces, so definitely great for stop motion. When we finally get hunkered down and start doing a lot more stop motion. Great posability, great articulation. Look at that. We have the butterfly joint right there, and we can bring the arms across the body. So just such a great action figure. Moves right here at the wrist. Great head articulation. Look at that. Yep. Awesome. Love this. So moves right here at the bottom part, the ankle, moves the high part of the thigh. Look at this awesome Stark Tech looking detail on here. Love this Spider-Man action figure. Look at that. So we can have him shoot his web off, turn this way, and then fly off. So looks outstanding. All right, let's see who we got next. Let's do this other Toy Biz action figure. Now you've seen this one already. This right here, this mesh net is supposed to look like, you know, obviously Spider-Man of years ago. Let's pull this little elastic part down more. And it's supposed to look like this web that he had like from the comic books when he's standing like this and the webbing was underneath. So it looks cool. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't think it's amazing, but you know, it's something. I love this traditional looking Spider-Man face. This definitely looks like the comics. I love this Toy Biz figure that you can move these fingers individually. Look at that. Isn't that wild? So we have a joint right there. It moves in the middle part of the forearm, and we have double joints right here at the elbow, so we can get some great articulation. Now these hands do not look great. It's neat how you can have this extra articulation, but these hands just don't compare to molded ones. For example, this. You know, it just doesn't compare. But it was a really cool pioneering idea that you know, it worked really good with the Venom action figure that we saw with our stealth mode Venom, right? So that was really cool because these, you know, but even then, so several swappable molded hands is still my favorite way to go. So we got some great articulation here. The shoulders move well, moves great above the bicep right here, moves at the torso, has great well, it has really good ab crunch. Not great because it looks like it doesn't stay too well. Kind of spring loaded. And let's see, 2005. Wow. So this joint right here at the leg definitely helps us to have great leg and knee articulation. Some great foot movement right here in the ankle. And yeah, it's a great looking action figure. It looks amazing. Amazing Spider-Man. Let's see what the symbol looks like on his back. Cool. Looks great. And he has a spot here which we can actually have him like from a stand. So that looks great. All right, let's see who we got next. Let's do, you know what? We finally have the head that had fallen for our homemade suit Spider-Man. So, in the previous video, we did to where we just had him where he has right here, he has his hood. But I was showing you can take the hood off. If I can get the head back out. Come on, head, there we go. And you can take the hood off and have this as if the hood has been pushed down. And there we go, snap that on. And look how cool that looks. Doesn't that look awesome? So, great looking Spider-Man action figure. Look at these homemade web shooters. Look at these. Just the whole homemade costume. Looks so great. I'm like, where's the other hands, swappable hands? So we have two fists and two hands like that to shoot web out. So we can just rotate him back and he can shoot that out. So that looks great. I'm sure you'll agree. Look at that. So, looks outstanding. I'm digging that. Let's bring this out right here. There we go. This will make for a better shot. There we go. Okay, and so he's got his sweatpants, his boots, just great articulation, great movement. Such an awesome Spider-Man. This is right before he lost his backpack. And look how awesome these sweatpants wrinkles look. They look just amazing, those drawstrings. Crunches at the abs. Has great movement right here at the waist. Love this Spider-Man action figure. Look at that. So great. Awesome. Spider-Man Far From Home. Okay, so we have just a few left. And, oh yeah, forgot about this. Look, we have this, which goes in here. And this is for our stealth Venom. Goes right here on his arm. And oops, I wasn't intending to shoot it out. But you put it right here on his arm. And then boom, you can have that shoot out just by pressing that. So that's kind of neat. Alright, look at our 6-armed Spider-Man. Isn't this wild? So this is from the Kingpin, which we're going to do in a moment. Build-A-Figure set. He does not come with any accessories, nor does he come with a Build-A-Figure piece. He's the first one in the set, just like Doc Ock and just like Iron Man Mark 50 in the Infinity War Marvel Legends set. And he looks absolutely bonkers. Look how great this looks. This is from a storyline to where Spider-Man actually woke up with 6 arms. And they just kind of shot out of his suit. Isn't that wild? And each one of them has full posability. And yeah, look how they are just in here. So we can, now unfortunately they're all fists, but we can swap them out with other hands that we have. So we do not have that butterfly joint here, but look how crazy this looks, doesn't it? This looks so awesome. And it's just wild how we can pose all these. Look at this. And then we still have one hand that shoots out web if we want. Look at that. So that looks crazy. But I love the texture, look, of his suit. Look at that, moves in the high part of the leg. I'm sorry, of the shin. Great articulation on the foot. Just great, great, great detail. Love the texture. It looks absolutely great, and I love how it looks like the suit's torn because arms came out. So this is a great action figure. Love it. Just so outstanding. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, great. Okay, set them right there. So we have just a few left. And let's do this Toxin. Now this Toxin looks great. This is another one that's that Venom body mold, and just a little bit like, you know, let me get him and show you. See, it's that Venom body mold. And of course this one's glossier with a glossy paint, but still flat right here on the legs. So it's essentially the same figure with a different head sculpt. It has this same like tendrils like Carnage. Look, see? And then of course it has kind of like this Anti-Venom arms and hands. See? The spikes, so they kind of just reuse that. So it's several parts from several figures. The only thing is, I'm not digging the feet. Look how these may have looked like house slippers, but these look like JCPenney dress shoes. That's the only thing I don't like about this figure. Otherwise, I love the color. I love the head sculpt. I love that his mouth and tongue is green. I don't even mind that his teeth and mouth kind of look like Rattata. But I love the eyes. I love that he still has the yellow right here, which makes him look just crazy. Him being the son of Carnage, he looks great. So I love the way this figure looks. I wish he would have had more accessories, but I wish all of them would have more accessories. Maybe some of them should have them, and maybe some of them just greedy. But this is a great looking action figure. It has great articulation, as you can see. Moves all the same places that the Venom one moves, but also has this to give that little touch of more like stuff coming off symbiote. So great stuff on him. It's the shoes that I just really don't like, but otherwise love this action figure. And if you can't tell, I'm starting to lose my voice after this being a long 2-part video, but we're getting to the end. And you know what, we have 3 Build-A-Figures and 1 Toy Biz left. So we have this outstanding Kingpin right here. Now the coat can come off, but then you still have suit looking jacket arms. Now even though his vest, you know, it's white, it's the fact that the vest still looks thin and these look puffy. So he's got some good articulation, not amazing but good, but you don't need him to be dynamic. This is Kingpin we're talking about. And because of the suit, the arm only comes into there. The wrist does turn and goes in and out like that. The head moves like this. And we do have a swappable head that looks like this. So not sure which one we want on more, but let's see what the other one looks like since I've had that one on for a little bit. So that looks cool. Look at his pocket square. This is a great looking, but since he's white, you have to be careful not to nick up his suit. If you have him rubbing up against Carnage, there may be red parts that end up coming out on here. So you definitely want to store him in the package. So his ankles barely move at all, but they move. His leg turns like this right here at the knee, turns the high part of the thigh. So it doesn't move tons, but it still does pose. Look at that. Okay, we have his cane, which he can hold right here. And it just looks ridiculously small compared to him. So maybe it's not, oh yeah, look. So we can have it as a cane. We can have it as some sort of like, you know, staff. So a weapon is what I meant to say. He's got his dress shirt loosened. He's got a nice purple tie and a nice pocket square that matches it. I do like this as like a soft plastic. That's cool. It's soft enough for me to just kind of move my thumb against and it moves in. So that's really cool. I love that he looks definitely menacing. And this is a great Build-A-Figure. Just a great Build-A-Figure. This is one of the best Kingpins they've ever made. Looks great. Looks better than the Toy Biz ones. And look at that. So let's take a picture right here. Boom, that looks outstanding. So love this Build-A-Figure. Looks absolutely great. We'll set him aside right over here. Alright, we only have a handful of figures left. And let's do this Toy Biz era Spider Hulk. Man, so we did a full toy review on him and the Carnage that you saw earlier, and the Stealth Venom, because these are Toy Biz era action figures we've been holding on to for like 14 years, and they're just so outstanding. This one actually has so these Toy Biz era ones that were not directly Marvel Legends, but were you know, they kind of complemented the Marvel Legends with same basic Marvel Legends build and everything. They had other things, like this one does this to be able to move, so for action and fun and to play with. So the Carnage actually came with a little trap that if you watch our if you search Super Channel G Spider Hulk, you'll find the 3 action figures that we did the review on. And so the Carnage thing had like a trap that closes up, but we couldn't get it to work. It was so, either because it was so old and it got stuck or whatever. But then of course the Venom also has that shooting out that symbiote projectile. So this is really cool. He does this, and there's a little piece of like it's a piece of plastic that's supposed to look like a bar, like a girder that he puts over his head and then breaks, and so it has 2 pieces. So it's kind of neat. It's cool how the hand, each finger does move independently. Look at that, including the thumb to come down like this. So that's neat, and that's one of the things that I loved about the Toy Biz Marvel Legends. But if you'll notice, even more so, not only does it do that, but the fingers have 2 joints. Look at that. So we have a joint here on the knuckle, and then a joint here on the other part of the knuckle. So isn't that wild? It's just so crazy. Look at that. And I may not have noticed that on the review we did previous, so just throwing that out there in case you go back and search that. So he moves right here at the waist, he moves right here on the rib cage. He just looks so big and massive. His arms, his huge biceps, where his Hulkness is bursting out, because the storyline was he got, you know, shot with a gamma ray and was able to become Hulk not momentarily, but like for a day basically. Look how his jaw just got massive, like if he was on steroids. It's not a duck bill like that, it's his jaw, or his nose would be up here. So just crazy. Look how great these legs look, great articulation, a single big fat beefy knee joint, great articulation on the ankle, and then the foot, and it only comes up to there so that he can kind of be walking and still support himself. Look at that. That's something that's not, you don't see very often in Marvel, modern Marvel Legends. So that looks great. Just an outstanding action figure. Look at that. There, took a picture. Okay, set him aside. Now, look at this amazing Spider-Mech. I love this Spider-Mech. Now, I wish they would have made one for the Into the Spider-Verse to look just like that one. That one, I guarantee, would sell like crazy. I would buy more than one, because you'd have to have parts that help it, because it kind of like morphs in several parts. So if there was a whole set, I would buy it even if it was $100. So anyway, but this one is a really cool looking comic book Spider-Mech. Now the arms only go around, but they have this really cool joint in there that has them come out-ish like that. So they turn right here where the bicep would be. They have a single joint right here at where the elbow would be. So that's neat. And then of course a wrist turning and moving joint right there. So this figure looks really cool because of that. Look at this really awesome head sculpt. So it does not come with Penny Parker, right? But nonetheless, turns right here. Look at this great detail. Look how it's got this metallic gray. And so the only thing that I wish was different here is the legs. I wish that they would pose a little bit better. So we have a joint right here that only goes like this. So it does turn here. Okay. Oops. So see how that's just barely like that. So that goes on there, and it turns. This knee joint can go that straight, but then it doesn't stand up very well if it's like this. So you basically need it bent. See, because not meant to be like a man like that. So you kind of bend it like this and have it out like that to better balance it. And you know, it's a really cool looking action figure, but it's hard to get them to stand on here. And since he doesn't have a little peg right here to put the stand, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Nonetheless, an absolutely great looking action figure. Look at that. Let's see if I can get a picture. Yes, that looks great. Look at the paint detail. Look at this. And so this is just a little bit awkward for him to stand on, but nonetheless, great looking action figure. Look at that. Love this head sculpt. Okay, so moving on is our last one. And you know what? Let me make up for not getting this right with our our Venom, Monster Venom Build-A-Figure video. Guys, I promised you I would put this on. I didn't, and I wasn't able to do it till way later. But here is the pork grind head. So thank you for letting me know, all of you who were like, you forgot to do it. So here it is. Doesn't that look awesome? So this comes with, is in the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure set. And yeah, look at that. Looks so awesome. All right, well, at least got to do it. Let me put it over here. And here we go, let's put this back. And oops, let me put this here, sorry. There we are. And let's get to our main event. Out of all those Build-A-Figures we did, we're now gonna do this Monster Venom again, but now taking a look at it with all of these Spider-Man action figures. So, look how great this Monster Venom looks. The head does have, the neck does go all the way back like that, and it does pivot slightly, so it comes this far forward. Look at that, to make it seem like he's got no neck, but it looks just so crazy. That looks the best to me, because having it like this, you know, looks cool. It certainly does. Look at the tongue. Look at that. Look at these little tendrils coming off. Look how just huge and massive he is. So the only thing I would like different is if his legs were bigger and bulkier. He would just look massive, but obviously the concentration is on how big his upper body is. Look how huge his arms are. He's got this coming off right here, so just be careful, it's fragile. And if you pinch it in between a joint, it'll cut it off, so just be careful. Turns right here at the upper part of the bicep. Oh, I tried to turn it and it just popped out. The Build-A-Figure piece. So there we go. It's a mirror image on both arms, basically. Ab crunches right here, pretty far. Look how great that looks. Let me take a quick picture. There we go. I just had to get this to focus. So it turns right here at the waist. Looks absolutely great. Look how just sick these legs look. We have two massive knee joints right here. Everything's popping. And look at these beast feet. So it actually goes on the low part of the shin. Great movement, articulation on the ankle. And this is just such a sick looking figure. I love how it's like this metallic, like dark purple or deep purple. And so look at this awesome spider. It's almost electric, right? This spider symbol, same thing here. Just looks ridiculous. Look at that. Just so awesome. So guys, oh well, let me just tell you, look, in the wrist moves great. And let me show you how big he is compared to regular Venom. He makes regular Venom look like a little shrimp. And if he was up against Iron Spider, where is he? Let's find Iron Spider. He's buried under here somewhere. Well, we'll just put him up against there he is. Look at that. So he'd be standing here, and look how small he'd be. So it would definitely be a great action sequence. And so of course here's Peter Porker, so you can have for size comparison. So guys, yes, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us here today. If you happen to catch this video as part 2 only, I'm gonna try to put the link here so that you can go to part 1 so you can see both of them. And let's see if I can add it right here. Bing! And it should come across right here, and you can click on it and drop down. But if not, at the end of this, there'll be a link so you can go there. So guys, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us, and so I'll try and put it right here as soon as our ending screen comes up with our videos, and so that way on this box right here it'll say part 1. So if it doesn't happen immediately, I'll add it. But yeah, guys, so thanks for watching Vincent JJ Super Channel G. Don't forget to subscribe to us, and we'll catch you on the next video. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye.